Hello, my future CS. I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. And I am telling you, I am also fine. So, I am finally recording a special video for my full English batch students. So, I am getting a lot of requests from the students. Sir, please upload revisions in English. So, this is my first video in English. So, if there is any grammatical error, please ignore it and pardon me. Okay, so now let's start with charge under GS. So I hope you have revised chapter 1. So in chapter 1, what we have discussed? So in chapter 1, we discussed whether it is supply or not. Whether it is supply. So in second chapter, we will decide if it is supply, yes. Then who will pay the who will deposit the tax? So this chapter will decide who will deposit the tax, whether it's your supplier or customer. I can say या फिर a recipient. A recipient. Are you getting my point? So for this, GST introduced a new section called Section 9. Section 9 deals with levy of GST. Before jumping into the Section 9, I will brief some definitions. First, definition of India. In India definition, first it will include territory of India. Sir, what does territory of India means? Simple. Territory of India means like Karnataka. Karnataka is a territory. Like Tamil Nadu, like Keralam. All these are territory. Like Delhi. Okay. Now another is territorial water. Sir, what is territorial? So this is the baseline. So if you nearby Tamil Nadu, Kerala, you have sea around your state. So up to 12 nautical miles. You see in the diagram, this is the baseline, and up to 12 nautical miles, it is the part of, yeah. Sir, what do you mean by nautical miles? So miles mean around 1.86 kilometer. This is not important for your exam. This is just I explain you for the general knowledge. For your exam, what is important? Up to 12 nautical mile, it's part of India. Means no one can enter the territory of territorial water of India without India permission. And exclusive zone is up to 12 nautical miles. So what does mean by exclusive economic zone? Exclusive economic zone. It's clear by its name, economic. For trading purpose, for trade purpose, India can use up to 12 nautical miles in the sea. Okay. So first we have studied territory, then we have studied territorial water up to 12 nautical mile, and another the airspace above the territory, the airspace above the territorial water. So no one can fly over our territorial water and territorial India. So in, for example, if Pakistan want to fly over our territorial water or territorial of India, then he is not allowed to fly. Okay. So as per GST, India is territory, territorial water, and the airspace above it. Next, very important. This is the core of GST. In this, we have to decide whether it is an interstate, whether it's an intrastate. Okay. Okay, I will give a brief since it's the revision. In intrastate, we will check the location of supplier and place of supply in same state. Point to be noted, we will not consider location of recipient. Why, sir? Because in place of supply, we have already considered the location of recipient if you have studied the place of supply, you got my point. Let's take an example. Let's take an example. Suppose you have recently seen the marriage of no, 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 no. Location of supplier, place of supply are in same city, but location of, yes, 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 yes. Suppose you have recently seen the marriage of Rasmika, right? Where it happens? Sir, it happens in Rajasthan. The property is also in Rajasthan, right? Of course, sir. So let me know one thing. In this case, location of supplier, of course, the hotel owner is belongs to Rajasthan. Is registered in Rajasthan because the property is in Rajasthan. And place of supply. You have studied the place of supply chapter. Case of an immovable property, if we apply the section 12, because location of recipient and location of supplier both are in India, so section 12 will apply, and it is already specifically covered in case of an immovable property. If the property is in India, then location of supplier, location of location of property will be the place of supply. Are you getting my point? Just a minute. Location of, yeah, in that case we have studied place of supply, Raja. Place of supply would be the place of immovable property. The immovable property is in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan will be the place of supply. Since location of supply and place of supply both are in Rajasthan, but location of recipient, since Rashmika is from Karnataka, here location of recipient doesn't matter. Even though Rashmika is from Karnataka, the location of supply and place of supply are from Rajasthan. This case is of intrastate. Okay, so in intrastate, what we do, Raja? So in intrastate, we will apply CGST and SG. CGST means the portion given it to the central government. SGST means the portion we will give it to the central state government. And the amount is always 50-50 division. Suppose there's a 18% rate. 9% goes to the CGST, 9% goes to the SGST. Are you getting my point? Suppose I hope you got it. It's a revision. The opposite of interstate is interstate. In this, location of supplier and place of supply both are from different state. Let's take I deliver a pizza in Tamil Nadu. I am from Delhi. So Raja, here location of supplier is in um Delhi. Place of supply, remember section 10, in case movement involving goods. The destination of goods is place of supply, right? So here place of supply is Tamil Nadu. So location of supplier and place of supply both are in different state. It is a case of inter, and in inter the amount will be charged as IGST 18% complete. Later the central government give 50% to the state government from a back door. Was it clear? Okay, there are three special cases. This government specifically mentioned you have to apply IGST. First is our import and export. Suppose you are importing a Ferrari from America. In that case, this is a 100% interstate and you will apply the IGST, not CGST, SGST. Second, supplier 2 are from SCZ. Okay, suppose let's take an example. You are in Tamil Nadu, and in Tamil Nadu there is a special place, a special city which is SCZ unit or SCZ developer. Okay, suppose you are in Chennai. Okay, from Chennai you are supplying in this city. Even though it is within state, but still you will not call it as intrastate. It is specifically mentioned it is an interstate, and a special provision is always prevail over a general provision. It's a very important line. If the question comes about SCZ, whether it is interstate or interstate, you will specifically wrote this line: specific provision always prevail over general provision. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, third point is supply to international tourists living India. Suppose you have recently seen a YouTuber, very famous YouTuber, Speed, ISO Speed. And he come to our India, and as a shopkeeper, if I give some idli to him, if I give some tasty food, if I give some toys to him, if I give some anything goods or services to him, because he just about to leave India in 2 days, 3 days, a week, after a week, he will leave India. So if anything supplies to ISO speed is treated as an interstate supply. Are you getting my point or not? Okay. Third is our territorial water. So it's a very interesting, although it's related to our place of supply, still we will discuss it here. Okay, so like first we have to suppose this is the lower part of our India, and here is our Tamil Nadu, and here is our Kerala. Suppose if there is any supply here, and Tamil Nadu is 11 nautical miles and Kerala is only 10 nautical miles. So what GST says, the place of supply in that case is the nearest coastal state. Nearest coastal state. So in this case, if you see, Kerala is near, since it's only 10 nautical mile as compared to 11 nautical. So place of supply would be obviously Kerala. I hope I wrote the spelling properly. Pardon me if I did something wrong. Another is our. Okay, so in that case, what is location of supplier? Sir, you haven't given us the location of supplier. The location of supplier can be from anywhere from the India. Suppose a Delhi person is supplying here, so location of supplier is Delhi. Suppose a Tamil Nadu person is supplying here, so Tamil Nadu will be a location of supplier. Suppose a Kerala person is supplying here, so location of supplier will be Kerala. So based on that, we will classify it as an interstate and intrastate. I hope it is clear to you. Now our like I think most of the definition related to this chapter we have cleared. Now we will shift to the another chapter. We will shift to the another topic. So now we will properly study our section 9. Okay, so section 9 is divided into 5 subsections. Let me talk about first section. First section is our 9.1, okay, which talk about the levy. Then comes 9.2, which talk about 5 products. Talk about a minute. Section 9.1 is about levy. 9.2 is about um 9.2 is about uh, in this 5 products on which tax is imposed on future date, means currently there is a no taxation on these 5 products. There's a short form called MANDP. Now another section is 9. What 9.3 says? 9.3 and 9.4. 9.3 and 9.4. This is specifically related to reverse charge mechanism. And what is reverse charge mechanism? We will see later the session. Another is our section 9.5, which is related to our e-commerce operator. We will study this also. Okay. Now. Let's discuss one by one. First, we have studied 9.1. So 9.1 talk about levy. So what levy says, we have already studied this in interstate and interstate. In 9.1, CGST is applied to interstate. Sir, we have already studied this. Yes, you have already studied this. IGST is applied to interstate. Same as it is in SGST Act if you study. SGST applied to intrastate. Normally, matlab, in short, CGST and SGST applies to interstate and IGST applies to interstate. It is very clear. But there's a one exception of it. In case if you are supplying a liquor, alcohol liquor, not a liquor for medical, it's a pure alcoholic liquor for human consumption. You are supplying that alcohol, means you are doing a bad thing, right? So this is not covered under GST. Why, sir, it is not covered? Although we covered in our full lecture, but I will give a short brief why alcohol liquor is scope out of the GST. Since if alcohol liquor is out of the scope of GST, all the revenue will belongs to the state government. But if it comes under the GST, the alcohol revenue will divide into two parts, center and state. That's the reason when the GST law was passing, state specifically mentioned this condition. If alcohol liquor will be out of the scope of GST, only then we will sign this GST bill. So that's the reason alcohol liquor for human consumption is out of the scope of GST. Only human consumption. If a alcohol liquor for medical purpose, it is covered under GST. One more thing, including undenatured air. As the name specified, denatured. Matlab anything which is can be used for one purpose, right? And unmean can be used for many purpose. So undenatured means any alcohol which can be used for two purpose. So including undenatured rectified spirits. What does this mean? Suppose an alcohol liquor we can use for medical purpose and we can also use this for human consumption. So that alcohol is also out of the scope. Or if you talk about ENA, ENA is a 95% alcohol, ethanol in it. Okay, is it clear to you? Okay, next. Okay, so 9.1 specify the value will be determined as per section 15. We have studied in valuation of supply, and the maximum rate under GST is 40% and CGST and GST 20% each. Collect in collection as may be prescribed. There are two methods only. First is FCM and another is 9394 RCM. Okay, paid by the taxpayer. Since in GST the final burden is always on the end consumer. So taxpayer is the person who always pay the tax. It's just that who will deposit it, it will decide under forward charge and recipient. Was it clear? Okay. 9.2 we will talk about. In 9.2 there are 5 products on which future date pay we will apply tax. What are those 5 projects? The short form is MANDP. MANDP. M means motor spirit, A mean aviation fuel, N mean natural gas, D mean diesel, and P mean petroleum crude oil. Please repeat with me. M mean motor spirit, A mean aviation turbine, N mean natural natural gas, D diesel, P petroleum crude. So MAN DUP, these are the products which will be taxable under GST on future days. Currently they are exempt from GST. Because already VAT will apply on it. VAT and other state taxes are applying on it. Now we will talk about section 9.3. 9.3 and 9.4. 9.3 specifically talk about reverse charge mechanism. There is a huge difference between forward charge and recipient. For example, you are going to a shop. You are going to an idli shop. You purchase an idli, cost 40 rupees, and you pay the GST 88 rupees. It's 48 rupees you will pay to the idli for idli, right? Now, since if you see from your point of view, your pocket will be reduced by 48, right? Whether it's reverse charge, whether it's forward charge, you have to pay 48. But the 8 rupees GST, who will deposit it to the government? that we will decide under forward charge and reverse charge. So Raja, in forward charge, supplier will deposit, and in reverse charge, recipient will deposit. Means customer will deposit the tax. Tax will pay by the government. Tax will pay by the taxpayer, as well as tax is also deposited by the recipient to the government. Is it clear? Okay. So 9(3) is divided into two sections. First is our goods, another is our services. And what does goods says? Okay. So any specific category of supplier. In this case, supplier is also specific, recipient is also specific, and the goods and services is also specific. If any of the condition is not satisfied, reverse charge mechanism will not apply. Please note, please note, supplier should be specified, recipient should be specified, and goods or services that should also be specified. Okay, okay, okay. Now clear, Soul. Now, let's start with our goods. It is very, very easy. I will give a memory technique to you. So on the left hand side, it is supplier, and on the right side is it recipient, right? If you see it, the recipient column, all are registered person. All are registered person. So one problem is already solved. Sir, on the recipient side, there's always a registered person. The only thing we have to remember, supplier and goods. Okay, okay. Now I will give a hierarchy. In GST, in normal life also, we will follow a hierarchy from low class to high class. Okay, low class to high class, right? So first low class person is our agriculturist. This is just only for the educational purpose. So if I hurt anyone intention, please pardon me. Agricultures first is our agriculturist. Now after that, if we become little bit rich, we will become unregistered under GST. Third, become if we earn little bit more money, then we earn as a registered person, right? After that, we will establish a manufacturing plant. We will call as a manufacturer, right? Fifth, the most richest person in our India, the most high class person. Sir, it's our central government and state government. Of course, our central government and so you have to follow that hierarchy. First is our agriculturist, then we will earn little bit, we will become unregistered, we will start earning more, we will take the GST registration, then we will not satisfy till yet. So we will open a manufacturing plant, and after that the most richest, most high class person is our central government state. Now our recipient is sorted, our supplier is sorted. Now the only challenge is our goods. The first entry is an agriculturist supplying to a registered person. What are those products? CBRT. The definition is CBRT. C means cashew nut, which is not shelled and peeled. B means a BD wrapper. R means a raw cotton used for clothing, textile. T means tobacco. Let's take an example. If you are as an agriculturist, you are supplying to an ITC company. ITC company is in the business of tobacco, Indian Tobacco Company. As an agriculturist, you are supplying a BD wrapper for making BDs. You are supplying tobacco leaves for making tobacco. Okay? After after BD and tobacco, to remove the smell, you are eating cashew nut, right? And in the end of a cigarette, there's a raw cotton in it. If you have seen a cigarette, there's a raw cotton in it. So raw cotton. So in this way, you can remember as a registered agriculturist person, if you are supplying to an ITC, then in that case, Raja, ITC company will deposit the cash on your behalf, or ITC will deposit the tax on your behalf. Sir, why this entry? Since agriculturist is a very small person, government doesn't want an agriculturist to take tax, and they are not that much literate also. So government doesn't want the admin pressure on agriculturists. Instead, they will shift you to the recipient, because recipient is much bigger than an agriculture. Was it clear? CBRT. C means cashew nut, B mean BD wrapper, R mean raw cotton, T mean tobacco leaves. I hope it is clear. Now, our next high class after an agriculture is unregistered person. So in unregistered person, okay, you are earning little bit. So as a for earning little bit, you are supplying, sir, oil. You are supplying oil, not coconut oil, simple oil. Second is our, you are supplying scrap. You open a scrap shop, garbage shop related to metal. You are supplying iron scrap. Since this person is also not that much rich, if you are supplying a iron scrap, you are supplying oils as an unregistered person. If you are supplying to a registered person, so that registered person will pay the tax under, deposit the tax under RCM. What kind of oil? So all kind of mint oil, peppermint, other mint. You doesn't remember to name each and every name. Just if any word have mint in it, means we are talking. If in this case it is a registered person, then RCM will not apply. I have already told, specified, specified, specified. Only then RCM will. I hope is it clear. Now we have done agriculture is unregistered. Now we are little bit rich. Now we shifted to the registration. Now we took the registration. So in case any supply between RP to RP related to priority sector lending certificate, we have already discussed this. Priority lending, priority sector lending certificate is a goods, right? Like suppose there is a target given by RBI to commercial bank. You have to spend at least 20% of the total loan for education. One bank only spend 10% and another bank is spent 30%. So since another bank has 10% extra, then he will transfer to the show he will transfer it to the another bank, so that 10 plus 10 is equal to 20, right? But but in that case he will charge something, right? So it is a supply of goods. Any amount charged for it is a supply of goods, and in that case the receiving bank who receiving the priority sector lending certificate will have to deposit it to the government. Okay, now our agriculture is unregistered, registered is clear. Now we will shift manufacture. So if we talk about manufacture, you are supplying silk yarn, raw cotton, silk yarn, raw cotton. From a raw cotton, you are manufacturing a silk yarn. It's a not that much big business. So as a manufacturer, they are small manufacturer. They are not a big manufacturer. They are very small manufacturer. That's why if they are supplying it to the registered person, the burden is shift to the registered person. Was it clear? Now our last high class person, central government and state government. So as a central government, state government, excluding our Ministry of Railway, IRCTC, if you are supplying a lottery ticket, have you ever purchased a state government lottery ticket? In that case, if you as a distributor, if you have taken a lottery ticket from central government, state government, as a distributor I am saying, so as a distributor you have to deposit it to the government, tax on it. Another is our seized goods. Okay, uh few days back, okay, few days back, my personal vehicle got seized because I don't have the document, I don't have the license. The government, the government seized my vehicle, and since I don't have money to pay challan, so they auction my personal vehicle. So if any registered person purchase my vehicle from auction, then he has to pay tax on it. No, because government is a very lazy person. I know government is a lazy person. They will not deposit the tax on its own. They will always try to shift their responsibility to the another person. So we have finally concluded our 9-3 goods. Now we will talk about 9-5, 9-4, 9-3 services, which is very, very important. Same concept: specify supplier, specify recipient, and specify services. The most important entry is our GTA. Now first tell me who is a GTA and what is the full form of GTA. Sir, GTA is good transport agent and the person who issue a consignment note. Who issue a consignment note? Sir, what is consignment note? We didn't get it. So consignment document is a document which a transporter give it to the person who make the supply, who makes the transportation. It's a it's a valid document and it's a proof that I am transporting this material from one place to another. The proper bill. Okay. So first is, in that case, supplier should be a GT. So please remove this. Supplier should be a GT. First condition is supplier should be a GT. Means anyone other than GTA is not covered under RCM. So if you are a GTO, goods transport operator, so goods transport operator doesn't issue consignment note. Please remember, they doesn't issue consignment note. That's why they are not covered here. Any horse cart, any lorry, any unregistered individual truck owner, they are also not covered here. And we will see in exemption chapter, they are also exempt from GST as well. Okay, I hope it is clear. First condition is supplier is GTA. Second condition, the recipient should be a specified recipient. Okay, sir, what do you mean by specified recipient? We will back it to you. We will get back on this. What is specified person? But we will check first third condition. So first, supplier is GK. Second, recipient should be specified person. And third, GTA doesn't pay the tax itself. One more thing I have to clarify. GTA can be registered and unregistered. There's a no such difference here. Okay? Even an unregistered GTA can supply here. Even a registered GTA can supply here. Even GTA is registered. He has option. He doesn't want to pay the tax itself. Since in this case, if an GTA doesn't want to pay the tax itself, the recipient have the option and recipient will pay the tax 5% without ITC. 5% without ITC means, so recipient will pay the 5% tax on it, and that 5% no ITC will be given it to the no ITC will given it to the, sorry. 5% means if a GTA opt this option, any inward supply GTA take. If any inward supply for as an GTA, I purchase some trucks, I purchase some, I took some repair services. On that services or on that truck purchase, you can't able to take an ITC. But if you are supplying to a specified person under 5%, that person can take the ITC on 5%. Are you getting my point? What is 5% without ITC mean? Means GTA, any purchase, even goods or services, he can't take ITC. But the person to whom it is supplying, they can take the credit because they are registered. They want to take ITC. Are you getting? So three condition I have mentioned. Now all other case, whether should be exempt, whether should be an RCM. Whether it is be exempt, whether it is forward charge. Okay. Now let's talk about what is what is specified person. So I have make a very uh, good memory technique here. The memory technique is BFCRPC. So simple, easy to remember. If any boyfriends, so girls, if any boyfriends cheat on you, you will apply the CRPC Act. It's a criminal act. You can apply CRPC Act on your BFs, right? If any boyfriend is cheating. So here BF CRPC mean, B means a body corporate, whether it's an Indian, whether it's a foreign company. F mean a factory who is registered under a factory act. You doesn't need to remember any act. S mean society, C mean cooperative society, R mean a registered person, P mean a partnership firm, whether registered or unregistered. Three very important. Even an unregistered partnership firm is covered here. But for a casual taxable person, C mean a casual taxable person, it should be registered. So I see I might ask from here as well because it's a very tricky. Here only casual taxable person registered is covered, not unregistered is covered. So please wrote it here. Unregistered casual taxable person is not covered under specified person. Okay. Now if supplier is GTA, sub recipient is specified recipient, and GTA want to pay the tax itself. GTA doesn't want to pay tax itself. RCM will apply. If GTA want to pay tax itself, means he has to take registration, he has to take pay tax, he has to issue an invoice, he has to declare rate on it, and he has to opt a forward charge for it and give it a declaration. I will not withdraw the forward charge mechanism if all the condition met. Then after that he has a two option. First, he can opt the 18%, he can opt the 5%. 18% is with ITC, any purchases he is taking, he can take ITC, but in 5% he doesn't have the option to take ITC. Both the cases are covered under forward charge because he has opted forward charge option. Was it clear? But any person other than BFCRPC is covered here. Even a government entity registered for TDS purpose is exempt. Sir, any other registered person, if an for example, if an end user, for example, if an unregistered individual, if a GTA is giving services to an unregistered individual, it is exempt. If GTA is giving service to a entity who is only registered for a TDS purpose, then it is also exempt. And in case they are supplying it to the unregistered casual taxable person, also that is also exempt. Why? Sir, they are not covered under BFCRPC. Was it clear to you? Yes, sir. It is very clear to you. Just a minute. Okay. Now there is a very important amendment for your May 26 examination and onwards. Earlier. Okay, I will explain you with an example. So earlier, GTA include e-commerce operator like our porter. If have you heard the name of porter? Yes, sir. We have heard the name and we have also used in our local delivery. Another player is our VFast. So Porter and VFast before May 2026 attempt, they are covered under the definition of GTA and they have to pay RCM. RCM will apply. But from May 26 and onward, Porter and VFast are not covered under our 9.3, means no RCM will apply. Then what, sir? So a specific entry under our 9.5 which is related to e-commerce operator has introduced, and in that case any a local delivery through an e-commerce operator is covered under 9.5, and e-commerce operator will pay the tax like porter and VFast will pay the tax, and no supplier will pay the tax unless if a transporter uncle, that is our supplier, is registered. There are three parties: supplier, recipient and eco. So if transporter is unregistered, then eco will pay the tax. If transporter is registered, then transporter will pay the tax. So transporter is an exception and it is not covered under 9.5. That's why transporter, if registered, will pay the tax. So two type of eco are not covered here, not covered in 9.3 RCM. So eco by whom and eco through whom. What do you mean by whom and what do you mean by through whom? By whom mean, as an eco you have your own vehicle, but through whom means you are just a platform. You are just a platform between a supplier and a recipient, just like your Zomato, Ola, Uber. Like just like your Ola, Uber, where your driver uncle meet with the recipient. Is it clear? By whom mean own vehicles, and through whom means you just are a platform. Was it clear to you? This is a very important amendment. I hope you understand. Now another is our director fees. Okay, there are two type of director in our company. First is our whole time director and executive director. which is all time available in your company. If as an executive director you are getting a salary, means in P&L your expense is debited under employee benefit expenses. In that case, since we have already covered under schedule 3 and any relation of employer employee, it is not covered under GST, so no tax will be applied. But if as an independent director, how many of you heard the name of an independent director? Yes sir, we have heard in our companies act, which we have studied in our CA inter, right? So in they will get a sitting fees for sitting in our board meetings. For sitting in a board meeting, they will get a sitting fees, and the tax on which will be deposited by the government, by the company, because you are as a director you are giving us services, and as a company you are receiving the services, mean you are the recipient. So as a company you have to deposit the tax of a director if they are an independent director. But sometime director are giving a personal capacity services. For example, a director also have a CA firm, and through that CA firm he is giving accounting advisory services. So in that case, a director is giving services in a personal capacity, then that CA firm will take the tax, and it is not covered under RCM. Was it clear? Yes, sir. Second entry is also cleared. Third is our legal services. In legal services, sir, legal services means you are hiring an advocate. Advocate as an recipient, you are taking a legal service by advocate, even a senior advocate, या फिर firm of an advocate like a chamber. ठीक है? So first is legal services from an advocate. So supplier is advocate, firm of advocate, senior advocate. Service is our legal services. If you are providing it to a business entity, suppose Reliance Reliance hired you against a case law which I have filed against them. So in that case, since Reliance is a business entity and he's taking a legal services, and his turnover in the previous year, not current year. Please don't apply current year. Always see previous year turnover is more than 10-20 lakhs. More than 10-20 lakhs. Yes, then RCM will apply. Means sir, then Reliance will pay the tax. Okay, let me burst some one myth which is very common. Suppose B individual. Can individual be a business entity? Most of the students say, no sir, why how an individual can be a business entity? But I say, why can't? Have you studied the business studies in 11th and 12th? There's a sole proprietorship. In sole proprietorship is also a business, na? Means if as an individual I am earning from a business, I am considered as a business entity. So if an individual is having a turnover 10 lakh 20 lakh more than in previous year, and taking a legal service from a the advocate, then in that case the individual has to pay under RCM. But in other case, apart from all that, it is 100% exempt. Suppose even though Reliance company has taken legal services, but the previous year turnover is less than 10 12 lakhs, less than 10-20 lakhs, then in that case it is exempt. But there are some exceptional cases like, sir, my turnover is only 1 lakh, but I have taken voluntary registration, sir, still I need to still I need to pay under RCM. No, the condition here is not registered, unregistered. They have specifically mentioned 10-20 lakh. So in that case, if you taken the registration, your turnover will be less than 10-20. So you are covered under voluntary registration, and still you are exempt. This is a very critical case. Okay. Apart from other than business entity, all are exempt. Like you are giving to the services to the Modi ji. Modi ji hired a advocate. or inter advocate. Inter advocate not include senior to junior. If any senior advocate giving to the service to junior advocate, it is 100% taxable. But an uh, one noob gives services to the another noob article, another noob advocate, then it is exempt. Another is any person other than our business entity is also exempt. Was it clear? So turnover is previous year turnover. If business entity take voluntary registration, it is exempt. Senior advocate to junior advocate taxable. One more thing here, local authority doesn't cover Delhi Development Authority. Means sir, if local authority, local Delhi Development Authority, sorry, Delhi Development Authority hire an advocate and Delhi Development Authority have a turnover of 10-20 lakhs more than, then in that case it is covered under RCM and local authority have to pay under tax RCM. Wherever local authority comes, always take assumption local authority doesn't include Delhi Development Authority. I hope it is clear. Now jumping to the fourth is also same like our legal services. In this case it is an arbitral tribunal. Arbitral tribunal is none other than is a private court. Okay, private court. Let's take an example. Recently 25 year ago, Dhirubhai Ambani divides its property between their two sons. First is our Mukesh Ambani. Another I forget the name. Another is I forget the name. Sorry. So he divided the property in two parts. So for that he had an arbitral tribunal. He go to a private court because it's a property dispute matter. So here Reliance is a business entity's turnover is more than 10-20 lakh, and in that case Reliance has to pay the fees under RCM and deposit it to the government. But if same turnover या फिर voluntary turnover is less than 10-20 or voluntary registration, it is exempt. And same central government, state government other than business entities also exempt, and turnover means previous year turnover, same as it is like and legal services, because arbitral tribunal is also a private court. That's why both the entry are very similar to each other. Now sponsorship services, now IPL is coming and Thalapati is coming. नहीं Thalapati नहीं Thala post Tata. Okay, Tata is sponsoring an IPL, right? One major confusion between the students, who is the supplier and who is the recipient. So it's a very easy. The person who received the money is the supplier. Means he supplies something, for that he is getting a money. But the person who is paying, he is the recipient. So in case of an Tata IPL, Tata is paying the money to IPL for sponsoring, for showing its name, for showing its car. Means IPL is giving services, then IPL is a supplier and Tata is the recipient, simply sees from a money point of view. Okay. So as an IPL, suppose let's take an example, sponsorship services. Since IPL is a body corporate mean a company, a foreign company also, include a foreign company. Supply to any person, even Tata, even even your CA firm, and even Rohit for sponsoring its indirect tax lecture. All these cases will be covered under forward charge, because body corporate is a very big person and ultimate responsibility will be on a bigger person. Means a body corporate. It's just a way to remember, since bigger person have a bigger responsibility. Now suppose it's a non-body corporate. Suppose a local tournament in our Chennai. Local tournament in our Chennai, which is sponsored by both, which is sponsored by your CA firm, your local CA firm, or Tata, or Tata nahi, REL, Reliance. In that case, since these firms are bigger, because local tournaments is very small as compared to our body corporate and partnership firms. So the responsibility will be on our body corporate and partnership firm. So one thing need to remember here, partnership firm is also covered. Most of the students only remember body corporate. So please note down this also. But if a non-body corporate supply it to other person, other than body corporate partnership. For example, your teacher Rohit is very small teacher. He want to promote his indirect tax English lecture, right? He goes to a local tournament in Chennai and requested Anna, could you please post a board post a board on your banners of free indirect classes of Rohit sir of indirect tax. In that case, Rohit sir is also small and local tournament is also small. So small covered under forward charge mechanism. Because if we shift to the Rohit is also small. If local tournament local is the also small, so we will not apply RCM here. If no RCM, then forward charge. Was it clear? Yes, sir. Another is our insurance services. What insurance services say? So, have you seen any insurance agent selling any insurance policy to you? So, these insurance agents are very small and they are provided services on the behalf of an insurance company, more than LIC. LIC have many insurance agents who are selling their insurance policy, and for that they are getting some commission from LIC. So on that commission, LIC will deposit the tax to the government because insurance agent are very small person. Even a company, it's very small. And same like a recovery agent. Have you taken any loan and you haven't paid it, and then bank send the recovery agent, then bank send the bodyguards. Eh? They bait you, right? If any bank hire a recovery agent, then recovery agent also are very small. In that case, bank and NBFC will deposit. But suppose, for example, you have taken my classes, okay? I have given you on credit, okay? I haven't taken charge. You say, sir, I will pay after becoming a chartered accountant. But after becoming a chartered accountant, you say, what money, bro? Then I hire some local gundas, and I beat you. So whatever the money I pay to the gundas, local agents, is not covered under RCM. They specifically mention banking and NBFC. So any other than any person is not covered under our RCM. Was it clear? Yes. 8 point is look our individual direct selling agent means any bank. Here bank is the recipient. Bank sometime hire individual direct selling agent. They sell their product. Sir, please take an insurance policy. Sir, please open a bank account. Sir, please open a credit card. Sir, please take a credit card. Sir, please. They are individual direct selling agent. So, in remuneration, bank NBFC gives some commission to them for every credit card, for every debit card, for every account, right? So on that, bank NBFCs will pay the tax. But the special point here is only individual, only individual. So in case any big player like body corporate partnership, then in that case forward charge mechanism will hire. Please mark this as very important because it's very general. ICA will ask this because sometimes student will forget whether individual is written or not. They will ignore it, right? Ninth is very important and very easy. Most of the student finds it difficult, but it is very easy for me. And after 5 to 10 minutes, it will be easy for you as well. I will give you a trick. Okay. So here the service provider is our big rich class person, central government, state government, local authority, UT admin, and here local authority also not include Delhi Development Authority. Are you getting my point? Yes. So they are providing two type of services, TAPRI and other. What does TAPRI stand for and what does other? It's just a memory technique to memorize. T means a transportation, and transportation can be of goods and transportation can be of passenger. Have you ever seen, have you anyone transfer in a state bus? Have you deposit the tax? No, on your behalf the state transport undertaking or state transportations, they will deposit, so it is covered under forward charge mechanism. Obvious. Now a means an aircraft. For example, if you see 3 to 4 year ago, Air India is a government owned company, right? In that case, in case of an aircraft, you are visiting from an aircraft, you are traveling from aircraft. Have you ever seen you have deposited the tax in aircraft? No, aircraft company will pay. So that is also covered under forward charge mechanism. TAP. P mean a postal services, means you are sending the letters to your conmany. Okay, letters to your conmany. Okay, but the weight should be less than 10 gram. The weight should be less than 10 gram. Means you are just sending a letter, not sending any chocolate with it. Okay. This means it is exempt because you are sending a love letter to your company. But you are a very rich bro. You have no time and you are sending the love letter from a speed post. Means you have a money. If you have money, you can pay the tax as well. So you will pay the under forward charge mechanism. No RCM will apply because have you ever seen you ever done a speed post and you will deposit it to the government? Because we are very small person. How we can deposit it to the government? We are even not registered, right? You have to take a registration if we are covered under RCM. That's why it is forward charge. Or if you are sending a chocolate with your letter, means the letter weight is means the postal weight is 10 gram or more. In that case, it is covered under our forward charge mechanism. Okay, this is not exempt, means only less than 10 gram. Now TAPR, R means a railway. As an railway, you are taking a services. Have you ever seen, in case if you are booked, have you ever booked the ticket from an IRCT say, have you deposited the tax? You have just paid the tax, you have deposited the tax. The tax will be deposited by the Ministry of Railway to the government. But there are some exception to it in which it is exempt. Have you taken the 5 rupees ticket platform fee platform ticket? Then our cloakroom, battery operating room, these are just very small amount and these are exempt. If you will study under exemption chapter as well, but although I have covered here every single point. TAPR, now I mean an immovable property. I mean immovable property. You are giving property to an immovable property. Since what I have mentioned, sir, I have mentioned earlier, the central uh, government is a very high class person, and high class person focus on high money, right? They are just those. So what they said, please don't waste our time, and transaction up to 5,000. Please don't come us to us. It is already exam because we are very rich. 5,000 is nothing in front of us, sir. But why we haven't taken under postal, railway, uh, uh, transportation, aircraft? Because if you see in TAPR, the amount is ticket size is very less. If you taken a postal services, the amount charges will be, in case of a speed post also, 200, 200, 300. Sorry, 200, 300. In aircraft, the maximum price will be 4,000, 5,000 around, right? In railway, 4,000, 5,000. So maximum ticket size is around 5,000. So if we exempt 5,000, all the entries will be exempt. But in case of an immovable property, the properties are very limited and the rent is very high, like 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs, right? In that case, government says, since we are very rich, up to 5,000, please don't come us to us, it is exam. And after that, since I have also mentioned government is our lazy person, most lazy person. And what lazy person do, sir? Lazy person always try to shift the work to the other. So here government did the same thing. They say, if you are a registered, then transaction should be more than 5,000. If up to 5,000, it is already exempt. Whether registered and unregistered doesn't matter. But amount is 5,000. Amount is more than 5,000, and you are registered. Since government is a lazy person and government doesn't want to deposit the tax itself, then in that case, RCM will apply. But you are unregistered. URP means unregistered person. So in case if you are an unregistered person, means you are also not registered, and government is lazy, but still government have to deposit because government doesn't have any option. Then in that case is forward charge mechanism. I hope it is clear. TAPRI. Now O means other services. Any services other than tapri is covered here, right? Here. Government I have mentioned is very lazy. For others, he did nothing. They just copy paste. What they did, brother? They just copy paste the earlier entries. They have copy paste earlier entry of arbitral tribunal and yeah, legal services, because they are very lazy. They are lazy. That's why, just because of their laziness, in other services they copy the same copy paste. Like business entity here, registered unregistered we will not see. We will see business entity, and they pasted the same because they are lazy. I hope it is clear, Tapri. This is a very easy to remember from this technique, memory technique. Now we will shift to another two entries. First is our any music composer to a music company. Suppose a music composer, let's take an example, A.R. Rahman, right? Have you heard the name of A.R. Rahman? Of course, sir, he's a very famous singer, and he sell his right to T series, right? Uh, for that, he's getting a remuneration in form of royalty. But who will deposit the tax on royalty? Then the T series company, the producer, music company will deposit the tax. And services in this case, they are using the enjoyment of a copyright, because T series are now have a copyright. Yeah. Same provision will apply to author and publisher. An author like a Chetan Bhagat, who is taking the service of a publisher for publishing his book. So publisher has a right of a copyright. In that, uh, in lieu of that, Chetan Bhagat will get a royalty, of course. But now, but there is a very big issue. The publisher are on high demand, and they do not want to pay under RCM. So if your publisher is very strict, they do not want to pay under RCM, then Mr. Chetan Bhagat, means the author, have given the option to pay under forward charge mechanism. But for that, you have to meet some condition. You have to take a registration first of all. After taking a registration, sir, you have to pay tax to yourself. You have to issue an invoice, and you have to opt a forward charge mechanism. And you also have to give a declaration, sir, I will not withdraw it for 1 year. I will not withdraw till 1 year from the date of exercise of forward charge mechanism. Was it clear? Yes, sir. Is it clear? Another is very C category topic. If any member of overseas committee giving to the services to the RBI, this overseas committee doesn't have the registration, then RBI of course will pay that tax. Okay, next 13-14 is very easy. I have make a single table for it, and it will be very easy after studying from this. Just give me a minute. Okay, now start renting. So there are two type of property, whether it's commercial, whether it can be a residential property. And commercial property have a two use, whether you can use for commercial, whether you can use it for residential. Even you are using for residential, it is still a commercial property. But there is a different case in residential. There are two cases. You can use it for commercial and you can use for residential. Okay? You can use it for commercial, you can use it for residential. If you are using a residential purpose for a commercial purpose, residential property, the purpose is commercial, then this case specifically goes it to the commercial. It is same treated like a commercial property because you are using it up for commercial. But there's a no vice versa. You can say commercial property is using for residential should be covered. No, it is not like that. Only residential for commercial is treated as a commercial property. So three cases are there: first, second, and third in our commercial. And residential, there is only one case: residential properties for residence purpose. Okay. So if you are giving a commercial property on rent, your landlord, your landlord is a very big person like a DLF, LNT, they are registered. So in case if it is they are already registered, they are supplying to any person, whether they are registered, unregistered, composition, doesn't matter. Always a landlord will pay the tax. But a landlord is a very old uncle. He just have a one property. He's not taken any registered, and he has a commercial property, and he is supplying. Since you are a chartered accountant, you just started your CA firm, you are an unregistered, it will be exempt. means no GST will be liable in that case, because he is not registered, he is not liable to GST. Although we cannot say exempt, he is not liable to GST. Ultimately, it is not the exempt. But old uncle giving to a service to a registered non-composition. Non-composition, देखो, there are three class in it. Unregistered is a low class, composition are a medium class, and registered non-composition is a high class. So any unregistered person giving the services to the high class person, only that high class person will pay the tax under reverse charge. Otherwise, even a mid class player is also exempt. I hope it is clear. Now we will talk about um, a residential property for residence purpose. And one more thing, how, sir, a residential property can be used for commercial? Have you seen a dentist? Have you seen a dentist recently? I have taken appointment for my teeth implantation. So 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 what they have the system, on the ground floor, dentist is living, and on the first floor they have a clinic. Even though whole property is residential, but the clinic is commercial, na bro. So in that case, it is covered under commercial, not here. So now let's talk about residential property for residential purpose. If any person, here supplier doesn't matter because property is our residential purpose. Mostly any individual family are taking. Suppose let's take, I shifted to Chennai, and I have taken the room on rent. In that case, it is exempt. If any person, even though I am a registered, but I am taking it for personal purpose, for my personal residence, or then also it is exempt. But any person who is taking for registration and business purpose, then it is covered under RCM. Sir, this point is not clear to us. Last one. Let's take an example. Suppose there is a landlord. Okay, it is your company L&T. L&T नहीं. What company will take Honda? For example, it's a Honda company. Honda have an employee. Obvious. So So Honda is providing a perquisite to the employees. Since Honda is providing a perquisite, in perquisite they are giving a guest house. Honda is giving guest house perquisite. It is part of Schedule 3. But for that guest house, they are taking on rent from a landlord. So any landlord who is supplying the Honda any property, even the property is residential and the use is also residential for employees. But the expense is kya? But the expense is business nature expense, because whenever the Honda company will make a profit and loss account, they will debit this rent expense, right? If they are debiting this expense in profit and loss account, then in that case, Honda company will require to pay the tax between the transaction between the landlord and Honda. There will be no tax on Honda and employee. Was it clear? Yes, sir. Another entry in development right. Suppose suppose you have a vacant land and you given it to develop to some developer. In that case, since developer is a very big person, developer will pay the tax. Same in case of a lease also. Then lease also, you promoter will pay the tax. Now other is our BF and BC. So BF mean business facilitator. Okay, it's very easy to remember. A BF girl always have a one complaint: our boyfriend will not take any responsibility, right? So in that case, in GST, BF will not take any responsibility, means if a business facilitator is giving any services to any bank, then it is covered under RCM. Since BF will not take responsibility, bank has to take. Any agent is supplied to BF will not take responsibility, agent will pay the tax. But BC mean a person who always क्या करता है, who always pay the tax, who always pay the tax, is a very simple person. People will make fool him. Agent is supplying BC, then BC will pay the tax. BC is supplying bank, BC will pay the tax. Was it clear? Yes. But there is an exemption of it. But in case a bank is a very very rural area bank, then in that case whole transaction will be exempt. Means agent to BCBF and BCBF to rural bank, whole entry will be exempt. I hope it is clear to you. Now jumping to the another, security services. Okay, what does security services mean? I am giving 1 minute to you. Please read it, then I will explain it to you. Okay, so I am explaining it to you since it's a revision. Suppose, have you ever taken a security services? Suppose SIS services. If you ever go to like any big corporate client, they have a SIS services. Is very very popular in our North India. I don't know about the South Indian. So SIS is very big. So it's a body corporate. Since I've already told, if any body corporate, since body corporate in itself a very big player, then why will shift it to the RCM? Then it in that case, even though recipient doesn't matter, but supplier is a known body corporate, like your your individual uncle who is giving security services outside your society. In that case, if his service is providing to a registered known composition, matlab high class person, not a composition, high class, then high class person will pay the tax. Otherwise, it will be covered under forward charge mechanism. Was it clear to you or not? Was it clear to you or not? Yes, yes, yes. Now another which is very important and about to end this our 9.3. Then another we will shift it to the 9.5. Okay. This is renting of motor vehicle. There's a huge difference between renting of motor vehicle and passenger transportation. What is the difference? In passenger transportation, the schedule and route, mark my word, schedule and route is fixed. Suppose your company, your office has hired someone as a driver, has taken a rental services from, and in that case, his only job to take you from the home and drop it to the office, and take you from the office and drop it to the home. Here, schedule is fixed, route is also fixed. In that case, it is a pure passenger of transportation services, not a renting of motor vehicle. But you have taken a vehicle and you doesn't know you want to go where. You can go to Chennai, you can go to Karnataka, you can go to Munnar, you can go to anywhere. Just you have buy a motor, you have just taken a rented motor vehicle. Here you doesn't know about the route, you doesn't know about the schedule. Here it is a pure renting of motor vehicle services. So for covered under RCM, you have to check three conditions. First, the tax rate should be 5% and supplier should be a known body corporate and recipient should be a body corporate. So first, second, third. In that case, RCM will apply. Otherwise, other cases, FCM will apply. Only three conditions satisfy. RCM apply. Otherwise, forward charge mechanism will apply. I hope it is clear, and I hope the difference between the passenger transportation and renting a motor vehicle is clear to you. Okay, in case of a lending of security, have you already studied in our AFM chapter? If you are giving a securities on lending for temporary person, it's not a disposal, it's not a security disposal, it's a temporary transfer. So in that case, in return from a borrower, you are getting some lending fees, right? On lending fees, borrower need to deposit the tax under RCM. Was it clear? Yes. Now this is another entry called import of services. So in import of services, like I will give a there are two type. I am not covering the OIDR services now. Okay, OIDR import of services can be of normal या फिर OIDR, online information data access. Normal services can be taken for, there are two types. Whether you can take it for personal, you can take it for business. So in GST, the personal purpose is exempt. Personal purpose is exempt, but business purpose is RCM. Same in OADR services. These are B2C and B2B. B2C mean same you have taken a Netflix subscription. In that case, FCM will apply and the overseas supplier will pay the tax. Since it's an import, that supplier will be in overseas. That overseas supplier will pay the tax like Netflix or Google if you have taken Google advice. But if you have taken B2B, like I have run some ad for my IDT class, since I am a registered person and I have entered the GST number while making the ads payment. In that case, it is an B2B services and same RCM will apply. Okay. What is OIDS services? It's not, we will not cover here. OIDS services basically mean, I will give a brief, anything which is available on internet and and 100% automated. No manual intervention. मतलब no manual PDF send, no human intervention. Was it clear? Let me know, please. Please let me know whether it is clear to you or not. Okay, we have just covered this also. Now we are shifting to the 9.4. Okay, what is 9.4? So 9.4 is about the sectors. They have specifically exempt a sector called real estate sector. They have specifically covered under RCM. So what they said, so I will give a brief. So like earlier nahi. Okay, what they did in real estate sector, since uh, uh, since a contractor doesn't get the ITC, so they try to maximum purchase from an energy, and to save from this, government come with 9.4 on real estate sector. What they simply said they simply said because there are three type of services a contractor can take. There are three type of services goods we can take: input, input services, and capital goods. Are you agreeing with me? Yes. Input in the form of, sir, input can be in the form of cement, bricks, anything, etc., etc. Input services, sir, very simple: labor. Capital goods can be a machine, for example, lift machine, lift in your flat. So, what the government says, in case of an input and input services, 80% should be 80% from register. Okay. If not, difference will RCM at the rate 18%. Suppose you have purchased only, suppose you have purchased only 70%. Then the remaining 10% you have to pay under RCM at the rate 18%. या तो आपने रजिस्टर्ड किया हो या आपने उसके ऊपर RCM किया हो. ठीक है. And in which cement should be 100% from registered, because cement is a very significant portion in a construction. So cement should be 100% from registered and capital goods should be 100% from registered. Was it clear? Suppose let's take an example. You have purchased 10 lakh. Out of 10 lakh, from registered supplier you have purchased 6 lakh. Okay. From unregistered person you have purchased, 4 lakh. And out of 4 lakh, 1 lakh is related to cement, right? And another 3 lakh is related to other. So here, if we do 80% check, सबसे पहले तो देखो, in that case सबसे sorry, uh, in that case first of all, in that case first of all, you have to take 28% on it. Means 1 lakh multiplied by 28% is around 28,000, right? Now calculate 80% rule. So out of 10 lakh, at least 80% should be in registered or RCM. So amount will be 8 lakh. So let's reduce. Okay, 6 lakhs is already registered. Got it. The amount is remaining 2 lakh. Now, if you see this we have already paid the tax on reverse charge. Na? Then this is should also be included. 1 lakh means 1 lakh. Any services, this can be any services, even for example, even any 9(3) services can be also there. Just like cement, any 9(3) services you have paid under RCM, it is still count under RCM 80%. So in 8 lakh you have to pay 80%, which is 18,000. So earlier you have paid 28, now you are paying 18,000. 28 plus 18, how much it is? So the 28 plus 18 is around our 46,000. Was it clear? Was it clear to you or not? Let me know. Please let me know. Was it clear to you or not? Yes, sir, it is 100% clear to us. Now our shifting to next point, which what he is saying. Next point. Okay, 9.4 we are saying. So 9.5 we not covering now. Why, sir? Because we are covering it with our TCS chapter, because there is a interlinking between 9.5 and 52. So it's better we will study with that chapter. It would be very easy for you. Another is our composition. Composition we will also study in the next video. We will upload it for composition next. So in this is the video. I think I have covered all the points, and uh, since it's my very first video in English, and I hope I never disappointed you. And if you really like this video, please share with your friends and who are looking for a young faculty in indirect tax in 100% English market. And I am 100% committed to you guys. Hindi and English both are equally important to me, and I am 100% committed towards our English lectures. Thank you so much for your support. I hope happy learning.